Welcome to the Torque Talks.
Have we done the clap? Can we clap?
Omid and I were outside talking, and then we moved in here about coming back from tricks, being injured again, coming back from tricks, and like the frustration involved in that. And you were on a great tangent.
Jesus, I don't know. I say a lot of shit. So the conversation kind of sparked because, for me, obviously this guy's an OG. I mean, anybody who's listening to this, you're gonna know Rudy MEADOWS. I mean, it's you know, come on now. But yeah, so I was just asking him about like what his relationship with tricking is like right now, because I'm just intrigued. And like he's coming back from the concussion right now.
Yeah, most recently, yeah.
And like, you know, as trickers, we tend to get injured, then we rehab, and then we come back, and then we get injured again. But
it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, in an ideal world, and before, so I actually hurt my knee, my non-surgical knee on the tour. I hyperextended it at Euphoria Gathering, and I'm currently on the way back from that. And as I was saying to Rudy, like I'm an emotional wreck. I wouldn't consider myself a particularly emotional person. The second I get injured, I'm just off the charts.
You don't know what to do with yourself.
I'm unbearable.
Like,
I'm not pleasant really. But like, you know, you have to deal with these things, because at the end of the day, that's just life. I mean, the tricking has taught me some of the best life lessons I could ever imagine. But
absolutely.
Anyway, so like we were talking about like what sort of relationship we both have with tricking, and right now mine's it's been a love relationship up to this point, and now I'm in a bit of a kind of pissed off. I'm not happy with tricking because it's, you know, it's hurt me. And yeah, tricking's like a woman. I mean, it's vicious, but when it's good, oh my lord, it's so damn good. But yeah, like right now, I think that the hardest part about tricking for me is injury. If I could, and I know everybody's gonna have a different perspective on this, but if I could trick every single day, even if I was in pain from soreness. But if I knew I was never gonna get injured, I would trick every single day for pretty much all of my spare time. Yeah. And that's just because I can't stop. Because for me, the tricking's more fun the better you are at it. And as I've got better, the more I want to do it. And it's just kept on going like that as a vicious cycle. But like, we were discussing so I was asking Rudy how he felt right now, and he said
lately I've been trying to get more into it and doing what I can, but like I started to get like motivated, and then I got concussed in the beginning of May, and I was concussed like all of May. Like I'd try and play and like do like things here and there, and then I'd be like dizzy, my head would hurt later, so I'm like, okay, another week, like I don't want to push this, like people die from this is dumb.
You're playing with fire.
Yeah, I'm not, it's not worth it to die from doing a backflip from a concussion like that. I'll be the most pissed off ghost you ever fuck. But so the longer I sit and don't do anything, the less air awareness I have during tricks that I used to know how to do really well, and the less things feel really foreign while doing them, and things get harder because I mentally know how to do it, but physically I can't get my body to react the same, and it's like the most frustrating thing. So recently, like in the middle of the concussion, I had the realization that I have to like go back and start over and basically drill until my body's at that point. That my brain is not my awareness, but like my brain, I have to build the awareness with it. But my understanding of things is like I know how dub works, and I like know how it should feel. I know how triple cork works. I know how it should feel, and like trip swing, I know how that should feel, but I cannot make my body recreate it because I'm not strong enough. I don't know where it's going to happen and all that. So it's, for me lately, it's been a really frustrating thing. because I know I need to be drilling. But I'll like drill and can't make the connection that I know I need to make. And then I just get frustrated and I'm just like, I'm just going to put this down and walk away and I'll come back to it. But then I end up coming back to it like 3, 4, 5 days later, and that doesn't help me at all.
Okay. Well, I understand what that's like, you know, just as much as anybody who's had like a big injury.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, I tore my ACL. Well, I ruptured my ACL, completely severed my meniscus in half, bucket handle tear. My MCL was just blown the fuck out, and there was cartilage damage as well. I had surgery in February 2016, and it's like a year and a half later, and I feel stronger than I've ever felt. Well, I did until I fucked it again. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah, at least it was the good knee, and hopefully that'll come back and it'll be fine.
I almost want to do a study on trickers who have knee injuries or like ankle injuries. If they mess the other one up like later on, because Nick did the same thing. Nick basically remodeled his entire right knee.
Yeah.
And then like 2-3 years later, he did not the same, but like severely messed up the other knee. And then you are trying to do the same thing. So I wonder if there's like a correlation between like, I fucked this one up, so I might as well even them out. Like,
well, I did actually speak to a physical therapist whilst I was out in Colorado, and I was told that the reason my left knee is now injured is probably because of my right knee injury, because it kind of threads all the way up and around,
right?
And it probably goes the same with ankles. Because for me, it's, I don't know, most of the people that injure their knees, they injure their knees.
Right.
They don't injure their ankles. And then the people that injure their ankles, they only injure their ankles and their knees are fine. And that, well, from my experience, that's usually the way it goes.
Right.
But basically, the reason is because, like, of overcompensating from the right knee injury meant that my right hip was loose as hell because I worked it properly. But during those 8-9 months where I couldn't properly walk on it, my left hip is like concrete. And then that runs down. My left IT band is completely solid. And my quad, my hamstring, my ACL and MCL and all of those things have to take so much more than my right knee would have done just for those 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, however long it was been. So yeah, that's what I was told.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I think for me, it was incredibly difficult to get through the injury at all. I mean, especially when I had people around me that, you know, non-trickers, but people would be like, okay, so you're done now, yeah? And I was like, well, no, fuck that noise. Like,
no, yeah, I'm ready. I want to come back. I just, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But, so, when I first came back, I was shocked. I thought I wasn't going to have a fucking clue where I was. I thought I was just going to be, like, just about knowing where I was in a backflip and then being dizzy.
Yeah.
But the first session I had back, it was my right knee that was injured, but I was doing gainer switches. And I did 3 gainer switches, and I did feel dizzy, because, come on, like,
you lose, yeah.
You lose our awareness. But, like, I think the interesting point is that, so Rudy and I were talking about, like, how much more difficult it is depending on your level. Because I think, from my experience, the hardest thing about coming back from the injury was the mental part, not the physical part. Because for me to get up and go to the gym every single day pretty much for 9 months, that was easy because I had the end goal in sight. And I knew that if I worked hard enough, I'd achieve that goal, which was to come back to tricks stronger than ever.
Yeah.
But then the hardest part was, like, when I did start tricking again, in my mind, I knew how to do touchdown race punch trip. I mean, even if my body was ready, I was petrified.
Oh, yeah.
And so for me, like, I know there's going to be people that'll be like, oh, yeah, but you could do dub, you could do a bunch of, like, hard shit that, like, people would, like, love to be able to do. But when you've got that thing inside your head that won't go away, that nagging, where it's like, nah, you want to do this trick, you can't fight that. And if you feel like you can't mentally do it, it's more frustrating than not being able to do it physically.
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
Because it just, like, fucking tears at you. It just tears you apart. And I think, I don't know. I think like, as I said to you, like, you were an inspiration for me as I was coming up and as I started training. But, like, I want I want as many people to trick as possible because it's fucking dope. Like, and I love seeing what tricking brings, what other people bring to tricking, and I want to keep tricking for as long as possible because it's amazing. But like, I think I also understand where people would be less inclined to train if they keep getting hurt and then they've got to start back from scratch. And you were saying that you're finding it more difficult this time as opposed to all the other times.
Yeah, like I've messed up other knees, and my spleen ruptured like 2010, I think.
Jesus, I didn't know
that. Okay, it was 2010. I had mono.
Okay.
What do you guys call that?
I kind of know what is mono. Yeah.
No, don't you guys call it something different? Mononucleosis, mono. So like the kissing disease, whatever. It's this thing where you feel like really sick and run down, and you just like
that's a cold
sore throat, but it lasts like 3 months.
Okay. Man
flu.
So you can call it whatever you want.
I don't know. I've heard someone call it something different. In the UK and Europe.
I'll probably just not in the know. I'm not in with the cool kids, you see. I'm a bit of a recluse. I don't really get out much. Just go to church. I don't go to church. I'm not really. No, I just want to put that out there. But yeah, do go.
But I had mono, and I didn't know I had mono. It's like, and one of the side effects is like your spleen swells, and I had a rare form where you don't have any symptoms at all. I felt fine. I was tired, but I was in college, so I thought I was just tired. I thought I was just in college, staying up late, doing homework, getting up early for class. Like I was just like, no, I'm just fucking school.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound like a fucking model student. Come on, bro.
No,
is this just because you reckon your parents are listening to this?
No, they're aware. But so like I woke up from a nap, like really bad stomach pain. Didn't go to the hospital because I was like, no, I refuse. I absolutely refuse to be that guy that goes to the hospital, and they're like, you have gas. Go home. But I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. And my girlfriend at the time was like, if it hurts that bad, let's go. I was like, no, I'm gonna ride this out. And I like fucking laid there dying for 6 hours, and I was like, ended up like almost blacking out and throwing up, and I was like,
all right, now's the time.
Let's go. But it like that put me out for 8 months, and that one was not like a typical injury where if you avoid your ankle or that knee and you just do like inner switches or corks and you really focus on it, never touching the ground, you're fine. This one was like, if you take a hard impact and you re-rupture and don't know, you die. That like game over. And I was like, got it. And they at one point told me, they were like, we're not sure if your spleen will like shrink back down to where it normally is, and if it doesn't, then that you just can't, because you will always run the risk of re-rupturing. I was like, oh, okay. So I guess I just don't trick. Got cleared anyways, and I came back from that. Tricks were funky. Like, I didn't know where I was as well. Retained the strength, retained the ability to do things and the knowledge of how they worked, and like everything connected really well. Yeah. And like I worked out during that period, but I really didn't expect to come back and be like, oh, triple fulls, easy.
Yeah.
But this time, out for about the same amount of time, and I come back, things start out where they make sense. I'm just really avoiding my ankle because I don't want to blow through it and need surgery because I dodged that bullet. But then as I started to come back, things started to get easier, and then I took a little bit of a break doing other things like focusing on photography and other stuff. But then as I like started to get back from that, it just went downhill. Yep. And it's my head knows how it works, but my body has no idea how it works. Mm-hmm. And it's this back and forth of like, I know what I need to change, but I can't make it change kind of thing. And it's the most frustrating thing that I've ever experienced in tricking. Like even with like learning new tricks that it takes forever to learn. Yeah, like this is that same idea of learning new tricks but I already know how they work.
Yep.
It's
like learning to walk again.
Yeah.
It's like you know how to fucking walk.
Yeah. I know how this fucking works.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it? And it's that exact same thing. And I think I don't remember who said it. But was it you, Dylan, that mentioned it? Tim Farley.
Yes. Yeah.
He posted recently about after you come back from an injury, you have to forget everything you know. Literally everything you know. I don't give a fuck if you know how to snatch cannon. You don't anymore. That's it.
You have to approach it with a completely new mind.
Yeah, like if you come back and you try and come back and go straight into dubs, trips, fulls, corks, whatever, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't work, you're gonna get frustrated. And I just realized this like maybe 3 weeks ago. I didn't even see the comment, but I just had this realization, and that is the best advice I've ever realized, but two heard is if you after the injury, if you try and come back and start where you were, you're just gonna piss yourself off and it's not gonna be fun. So you have to start over and see what works, see what doesn't, see what's fun, see what's not, and then go from there.
Well, I agree, but I also, because the thing is, at the end of the day, if you come back from an injury and your favorite thing previously was doing wrap dubs, if regardless of what your injury, if you then now come back and you're like, okay, I need to be careful doing wrap dubs, I'm going to work on double B twist. You could end up enjoying doing double B twist more so than wrap dub. And just let yourself enjoy what you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Really try and remove yourself from the things that you feel you must go to. Sorry, okay, no, other way around. So don't get hung up on the things that you used to do. Just allow yourself to enjoy the things that you can do, and you will probably end up enjoying it more so because you're completely different to the person who got injured 6, 8, 9, however many months ago.
You're constantly changing.
You're going to be a different person, so you're probably going to enjoy double B twist more at that time because you're better at it. And at the end of the day, we all enjoy the tricks we're good at.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel bad about that. I'm always trying to fight with myself as to whether I should do scissors because I do so many scissors. I do scissors constantly. But at the end of the day,
really well, I'll add.
I appreciate
really
it.
fucking well.
But it's like I have this inner debate with myself where I'm like, all you fucking do is scissors. Why don't you do another trick?
Do something else.
Come on, bro. There's so many other tricks, and all you do is raise scissors and gain a scissors and all this kind of shit. But at the end of the day, I enjoy it, and I want to keep doing that.
Yeah, do what makes you happy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing that. And then if in 2 months' time, if tomorrow I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I'd much rather do any trick with a round, any trick with a shuriken, then I'm just gonna do that. Because at the end of the day, there's no point in trying to fight what you really want to do, just because you feel like the old you would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because you're you at this very moment. You know what I mean? So
you're not tricking for anyone but yourself.
Just one more thing I want to add. Injuries are shit. There's no skirting around it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you work hard enough and you really want it and you focus on the end goal, even when you get to the situation where you're at, where you can do tricks, but you don't feel great doing tricks.
Right.
I think this is taking a little bit longer, but I feel like this time, and we'll say this every time we get injured, but this time, once you do get that shit back, one, you'll appreciate it so much more.
Yeah.
Because now when I do touch on raise punch trip, I could do that every single fucking day and never do any other tricks, and I'd be in heaven. But you really appreciate it, and also you get better at it, and you approach things in a different way.
Yeah, lately I've been going back and revisiting the basics of the tricks. I did ages ago 10 corks to dub. Now I'm struggling with 2, 3, 4 because I'm just rushing technique and being impatient. So now I'm going back and 1 cork dub, 1 cork dub, 1 cork dub, 1 cork snafu, and just playing with the lead up, and then I'll move on, and then I'll just drill it in. You just drill basics and everything. So
yeah, if I can give any piece of advice to anybody who does flips, this applies to everything in life. Just try and approach things with a new mind. If something's changed, I mean, don't fix what's not broken, but just try and think about things from a different perspective, and you'll probably do better. Yeah.
And on that note,
we're done, I think. I hope that was useful, by the way, for anybody who's listening.
Yeah. I mean, it helps.
Injuries suck, but just try and you got to get over your mental state, and your body will come good with it eventually.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Check out Omid on Instagram and YouTube. What I need things.
Alex OMIDVAR on Facebook, Instagram, and what else do I do? YouTube. And also, as Rudy mentioned earlier, he is a fucking god with a camera in his hands. So I'm gonna make him tell you what his Instagram profiles are. He has several because he also has 2 incredible dogs. So,
so one of my personal is just Rudy Meadows. My photography one's Rudy Meadows Photography, like _photography. And then Jace, the red husky that we have, has his own, and it's just Jace the husky.
He is a gangster.
He's a model.
Yeah, and also a hero. Good grief.
We've toyed with making him one. Anyways, if you like this, please hit subscribe, like, share it, follow Alex on everything, and we'll see you guys next time.